I think maybe even Dirty Jersey Rat. Dirty Jersey. Yay! I love that song.
I know you sent me some random notes, and I was
yes,
interested if
because
you
I
wanted to
feel
go
like
over those.
yeah, there's just like so much to talk about. Do you need to go or can
I'm
you
okay
stay?
on time. How are you doing? I could do.
Yeah, I'm okay.
That's
Yeah,
great.
I'm sitting on the edge of this bed in the hotel room though, so it's kind of uncomfortable, but I'll just kind of wiggle around sometimes to not be so
I
uncomfortable.
suspect that nobody will be sad if you are wiggling around. There was talk the other day of us doing a bikini stream together. So
What?
I think that everybody is going to be fine with you wiggling around.
Oh, okay. Well, like I said, I'm an old person, so these days it doesn't offend me like it used to. So, okay, speaking of being offended, I was like so shocked at how rude people were towards this poor lady, Karen
Yes, I agree.
Feldman.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm assuming you watched this, right?
Of course. Yes, I couldn't take my
Yeah.
eyes off of it, in fact.
Yeah. Well, I thought she came across as very credible. What do you think?
I agree. I think that she came across as very credible. I think that the things that people have kind of poked away at where maybe she was lacking credibility are because of her general demeanor. And I don't necessarily know that that's a reason that somebody becomes uncredible. To me, she seemed like she remembered the situation very well. She described the situation very well. And of course, the situation that she is describing is working with John on the creation of One Too Many. We should preface that for anybody who hasn't seen this, though I suspect that everybody has, because it was quite the bombshell. She did not seem at all to be misremembering things or exaggerating things. Everything seemed very natural. So either she really believes that that's what happened and her memory is faulty, or that is what really happened. And I tend to think the latter.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, in terms of presentation, she could have made her hair look a little better and placed the camera a little bit better, but in terms of what she actually said, I thought that it sounded pretty credible. Of course, John is saying that she's just crazy and she'll just agree or lie about anything, but I mean, it was interesting though. So kudos to WATP for getting this person. It was a great interview. Yeah.
It was a great interview.
Just wish people weren't so mean to her, because she later said on the Kevin Brennan show that she had been beaten almost to death by some gang member. So it makes you feel sad for her.
It really does. It really does. Nobody hopes that for anybody. I am seeing a lot of love for her also, though. I know a lot of people have kind of poked fun at Karen for a couple of different things, but I also am seeing a lot of people saying that she should be Dabbler of the Year for 2026 because people are so appreciative of her commentary. So I guess it's kind of the same thing that you and I, Judy, have talked about quite a few times, which is, if you're going to get the love, you're going to get the hate also, and you just kind of have to let the hate roll off your back, and hopefully Karen can feel that as well.
Yeah. So since she was so brave enough to put her email out there, plus her cell phone, I was like, why'd you give out your cell phone?
I was screaming at my screen. I was going, no.
Oh. Yeah. Well, I mean, because why are people so mean to her? It's like people make fun of me for my terrible voice, but I have medical problems. And it turns out she had severe medical problems too. So people should just be grateful for what they get. She was willing to come out of this, come out into the public and risk total humiliation to give people some good information, something to talk about. Yeah, it was very interesting. So I've reached out to her, and so my show makes very little money. I mean, once in a blue moon, I get something great where I can make more than, say, like $100 or even $200 for a live stream. But a lot of times it's like, oh, I made $3.
Yeah.
or, oh, I made whatever, $30, but, I have to pay taxes on that and whatever. So I offered her $50 if she would come on for 30 minutes with Vince and me on Tuesday. And she was
Yeah.
very prompt. She quickly responded and she was really nice about it. And once again, it made me feel bad for her because she said that she's gotten so much hate and people beating her up online that she can't do it for less than $200. And I was like, I'm sorry, I mean,
Not in the budget.
I don't make, it's very rare for me to make $200 on a live stream. So, but it sounds like she told her story to Carl and to Kevin.
Kevin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I will say I'm very thankful that she has been talking about this again. I've been very glued to it myself. But I'm also glad that, she has a standard of what she is willing to accept monetarily. I think that is a really challenging thing to do, is to say, hey, this is my bottom line. And not everybody has the ability to actually say no. So I would say good on her for making that stand, although I am sad to not be able to see you and Vince talk with her.
Yeah. But anyway, so I started thinking of legal issues since she said she didn't get paid $40,000 back then, which is what, 2006-ish. She didn't get paid. So that would probably be worth something close to $160,000 today.
Whoa.
Yeah. So that's why I feel like maybe she should have been a little bit more aggressive in trying to find John and suing him, even though he was broke back then. Don't just
and
give
almost
up.
certainly, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. Of course, I don't know the statute of limitations on that type of law, and especially not in California, which is where this would have been. But presumably, the statute of limitations for her ability to file a lawsuit has long since expired. I can't imagine that would be more than 10 years.
Yeah. In my state, it's usually 3 years.
Yeah.
This is not legal advice, of course, but I don't even know. I mean, you would assume that she had some sort of written contract with him.
Yes, I would assume.
Okay, thanks to Google, it says in California, the statute of limitations is generally 4 years for written contracts and 2 years for oral contracts. Okay, so this is not legal advice. This is just free, cheap Googling. I went on Google.
Thank you, Google. Yes.
Yeah. So, but once again, this is why when someone screws you over, sometimes it is good to just go ahead and file the lawsuit. Even if you can't find him, she could still at least file it and then potentially sue him through publication. Although that would cost even more money.
Very
expensive.
To serve someone.
Yeah. And then if she got her judgment, then based on whatever the statutory rate is, the judgment would continue to accrue, maybe say like 8% interest each year until it gets paid off, and you can still renew the judgment.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but that's up to her, because once again, it's kind of like, does he have assets to go after? I don't know.
Would it have been worthwhile? Yeah.
So that really stinks.
Yeah, it really does. I agree.
Exactly. It's like, if this is true, then it just means he didn't even care about burning bridges and ruining his reputation.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't sound like he did then, and to me, his behavior nowadays doesn't suggest that he does now. I mean, there have been plenty of times where people have allegedly turned on Stuttering John, and as a result of that, he has immediately went and start trashing them. So, to me, it doesn't seem like he has a lot of care about professional relationships in that sense.
Yeah, or just maintaining some sort of professional decorum. I guess that's foreign or something. Yeah. Okay, so let's take Karen off the screen, but that was like a big legal issue, since I'm into legal issue spotting. It's like, geez, should Karen have tried to pursue John more? Would it have worked out? Because just think of it, if she had gotten the money and invested it, she could have over $100,000 today. I mean, that's a huge sum of money.
It really is. She maybe should have pursued it. I don't know.
Yeah, but therefore, the most she can do now is go around telling her side of the story. So, and she kept saying that, go ahead, if he thinks I'm lying, I have, what did she say, 100 people that would back me up. I don't know if that's true, but
I will be interested to see what happens with that. I don't think that John will end up suing her. I know he has threatened legal action, but I don't think that that's going to be the case. And even so, I think that he would have to prove both damages and also that what she said was untrue and truly defamation. I don't think that he can succeed on either of those aspects. So,
well, I mean, the last thing he needs is another lawsuit. So, I mean, these cases can just totally spiral out of control.
You are correct.
Dirty, dirty Jersey. Dirty, dirty Jersey rat. Dirty Jersey rat. Dirty, dirty Jersey.
You broke my heart, Dirty Jersey. You broke my heart. Mainly by including Granny. That's my main issue.
You know what? You weren't. I know that your ass was not going to bring this up.